Alrighty, guys. Welcome back to the Bizz and Overlord show. This is episode 4. Count
Woo!
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, today's the MOTU episode because, well, MOTU is such a broad topic. Figured, fuck it, cover the whole spectrum. With that being said, we are going to start out, we're doing this because it's PowerCon, and PowerCon means MOTU and all kinds of shit like that. So we're going to kick things off with Bizz because he is the original MOTU guy. So, you got the wheel.
Well, thank you. I don't know, man. We're all pretty obsessive with MOTU, and we got other friends too that are into it, like Dr. Twisted and Count Stankus and Vampire and Brian Starner and a lot of other good friends and stuff that are into it and stuff. But we've been pretty. Me and you've been pretty steady on picking up new stuff. I know Count has too. You know, he's gotten back into collecting and stuff, and Twisted's always picking up stuff, and so is Starner. But anyways, I don't know where to begin because we got 3 different things we could talk about. We could talk about classics. There's 4 things we could talk about. There's the coolness of classics. There's the coolness of 2000X. There's the coolness of vintage. And there's the coolness of, I guess kind of She-Ra. But then there's new adventures, which I have some of. You have none of, but I have some of.
Yeah.
I think the only people we know that have new adventure stuff would be me or Twisted, I think. But yeah, but other than that.
I think Starner's got one. I don't remember.
But in our world, me and you just got 2000X vintage and a little drop of classics. Me, I pretty much got the whole shebang going with a variety,
Pretty much.
And then we have
a Scare Glow, surprisingly.
What's that?
From Vintage. The Vintage Scare Glow, do you have him?
Yeah, I think we both like that, but I don't think any of us have it. So
I had to buy that for $30 before. I'm still kicking myself. There's a funny story to go with that. I found Scare Glow one day in this place I go to a lot, Comic Depot, which is about 30 minutes south from where I'm at. And, yeah, they had him in a bag with his staff and his cape. And he was in really nice shape. It's $30, though, and at the time I'm like, oh, that's a bit much. So I left him there. Eventually he got sold, but instead of buying him, I went and bought my friend a Skylander for his birthday, which is returned, sold on eBay, and I was not reimbursed, which is bullshit, but whatever.
You know what lesson you probably should have learned from that is don't buy your friends anything.
I have now. I only buy shit for you guys because you guys will actually keep the shit. You don't have parents to sell online. I don't know. I'm more pissed that his shit got sold than the fact that I got out $10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I didn't get half of that.
And regardless, $30 is a cheap price for that figure.
I know. At the time, like I said, I was absolutely clueless. I mean, they had all kinds of other shit there, too. They had DC Classics, Hawkman, and Dr. Fate, and all this awesome shit. The only thing I got from that day that was still there when I went back was the Parademon Superpowers variant from Classics. That was the only thing that was still there after that day. What I bought that day wasn't that bad. I bought DC Direct Doomsday. I do like Doomsday a lot, but I would have liked that Scare Glow more. Because I probably would have had more fun with him, but oh well. Shit happens. I'll find another one, hopefully.
True, man. It's a figure I need in my collection for sure. Wouldn't hurt.
I'm more concerned with the Pit Build-A-Figure right now. That's a wet dream, just like meeting cosplayers dressed as Lady Death, Angela, and my recent Black Cat kick. Although Black Cat was always hot. Fucking That's not a question, but back to MOTU.
All right.
I should have just called this Satan Spawn the Random Demon, but oh well. We'll do a Spider-Man animated show. I think T-Biz needs to catch up a little bit on that.
Yeah, that wouldn't hurt someday soon. But yeah.
Revisited. You know, it's a just a quick note. It's a fantastic show. It's with me. It's up there with animated series from Batman and Gargoyles. You know, it's just one of those '90s classics that if you didn't see as a kid, you probably lived under a rock because it was on a lot. There was like five.
I think my favorites are Spider-Man Unlimited and Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer. I've never seen that one, but I've seen pictures of how crazy looking Galactus looked in it.
That whole series is on YouTube, man. The whole series. On YouTube. Cheap. You want it for free.
I remember also there's supposed to be a Ghost Rider show, but it didn't happen. But luckily Netflix will do that. So back to MOTU again. And talking about shows, from my aspect, because we did tease, because he's a little bit of everything, but he grew up with the original stuff. What he still has left of that, I do not know. But I know he has been buying some of the vintage stuff back. I remember specifically bought Web Store and Trap Jaw. And
out of my original collection, all I have left out of my original collection that I originally owned is Tila, and I did a whole corpse paint Spawn thing with her way before it was hip, like a long time ago, and
it's about 30 years.
Yeah, way ahead of the time. I need to find her pieces because I can do. It'd be kind of cool to share that on Instagram, but and Beastman. Those are only two figures I have left from that era.
I still need I need Tila's accessories, and I'm still looking for a Trap Jaw claw. But luckily, that second Trap Jaw T-Biz bought was complete, and he happened to have another one complete. He just doesn't have the little hook on his head. And me being the asshole I am, I found a Trap Jaw with the hook on his head for like $3. Like the next week at Albany Comic-Con. It's Comic-Con in New York. It's the best I can probably do with the funding I have, but I can't even go to that right now. I'm not gonna say why, but that's happening tomorrow, and I'm pissed. And I'm stuck here and broke. Oh well.
We're all broke, babe.
I think we all are, though. I think the whole collector's top crew is just burned out internally because this economy has gone to shit.
I mean, I had $70 to kind of blow and not blow this week, but I just went ahead and went for it, you know.
Yeah, do what you gotta do. You gotta feed the addiction somehow, but yes, I actually found Trap Jaw's belt in a bag of accessories that my good friend in the Geek Culture podcast, Tom, he had a bag of MOTU parts. He had Snout Spout's axe, which I probably should have grabbed that. He still got it, I will. But I found Trap Jaw's belt, and that made me pretty happy. I was able to find that, and it fit right on him. You know, I'm worried about the older MOTU things because they're made of that harder plastic, and I don't want to snap it like someone did to poor Merman's armor, which I will tell you, I will get a bulk of MOTU accessories from this chap right here one of these days. He's cleaned his room. His shit's probably, 80% organized now?
No, it's somewhat organized. It's gotten there. It's getting there.
Getting there. I still got the list in my head. I think it was Triclops' sword was the first piece, and then Merman's armor with the belt. But now I need a Evelyn staff and all of Tila's shit. I'm just the needy MOTU collector, I suppose. But my Trap Jaw is just missing his claw now, which I know T has 2 of now, which is cool.
You have 2 claws, just gotta locate them. That's all.
Yep, that's the hard part. And we both need hooks for our web stores.
Since we're talking about MOTU, all right, who are your top? Oh, who would be your top 3 favorite villains?
I think web store is badass. I don't know. I think he's awesome. He's a fun figure. I like Hordak, but Webstor's more fun, and then Scareglow is just cool because he's glow in the dark, and then Skeletor's classic. So those three. I guess I'd put Hordak at an honorable mention. Hordak's really just Hordak.
Yes, mine would be Triclops, Merman, and yes, Triclops, Merman, and I'm trying to think of anybody else.
Evelyn.
Well, Evelyn, I like Evelyn a lot, but I don't consider her a bad girl. Like, I mean, her bad guy or whatever. I don't know. I love Evelyn, so I'll just leave it at that. But let me see. So it'd be Merman, Triclops, and might have to be Webstor too. It might actually have to be, you know.
I also have a guilty pleasure for Clawful because he was the first MOTU figure I got that I opened up and looked at, and I'm like, this is fucking cool. I got him complete, tight legs, no scratches. $10.
Yeah, Clawful's an interesting figure. He's a weird one.
I wish that the 200X made him as a figure and not just a staction. I'll probably buy that eventually because he was in the show for the most part for a long. He was in it since day one, episode 1 of 200X, but I will probably buy that staction because I think that one is common for a reason. They made more of him because he was more popular. But you could pick him up for $20 or less, carded. So,
what, yeah. The Staction or what?
Yeah, the Staction Clawful. He's pretty cheap. There's a few that are actually pretty cheap. Him, Snout Spout, and I think Clamp Champ are the cheapest ones. The Snake Men are anywhere between $30 to $50. The Evil Horde are anywhere between $50 to $100, unless it's Hordak, then he's more towards the $30 to $50 range. Then the other characters vary anywhere from that to $100, really. So I've never seen one sell for over $100, but it wouldn't surprise me if I think Leech is the rarest. Him and Mosquito are pretty rare. There's a really good looking Evelyn one too with a. What's his name? Is it Screech? The evil bird there.
What, a Staction or what?
Yeah,
or just a
Staction.
I didn't know they made. I thought that's weird. I didn't know they made an Evelyn Staction.
They made Evelyn and a He-Man actually.
Well, I thought they just made Stactions of figures that weren't created yet.
Yeah, I made a few other characters. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do a Skeletor, but oh well. Crap. So, that being said, the 80s stuff spawned a new thing, which then led to New Adventures of He-Man, which T-Biz knows more about than I do.
Well, when it came out, I wasn't interested in it. I thought it would look kind of stupid. It was popular at the same time the movie Willow, the George Lucas, Ron Howard movie. Willow was popular, and those were kind of at the same time because we hadn't had any George Lucas Star Wars stuff or anything like that for a while. I think since 83, 84, something like that. And then all of a sudden it was like late 80s, and you've got either late 80s, early 90s, and then you have Willow popping out, which is pretty cool and an interesting movie. Not bad. Figures and toys weren't great for it, but you had New Adventures out at that time, and I just didn't like it. I think I was kind of already done with He-Man. I was interested in like skateboards and Nintendo and other things, and or maybe even Ninja Turtles by then already. And I just kind of wasn't interested in it. It looked kind of stupid. But it took about 20 or so years later, maybe or more, and about probably when I moved where I live now, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, I started getting into the New Adventures and stuff, and picking those figures up, and I picked like a couple vehicles up, and and figures, and like I won like a lot or two of figures, and just started getting into it. And then I think last year I started watching a little bit of the cartoon, which kind of just looks like an anime, that New Adventures cartoon. But
Yeah.
I respect it now. I like it now. You know, the new adventure stuff. I think it's cool.
I guess I wouldn't mind a Skeletor, but some of the figures look kind of hokey. But they're of the
They
time.
are weird. They are weird, and they got their gimmicks, and they're kind of hokey in a certain way, but another way too, they're still kind of cool.
Yeah, they're of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So after that, I think I might have ended. When did that end? Like 92 or something? I know it didn't last too long.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't remember.
I know it didn't last too long, but it was another 10 years, and then we got the 200X, which is my introduction to He-Man, because I'm immortal. No. I'm a little squirt.
That was like 2000. I was living with Chef Dan and his soon-to-be wife at that moment, and I was really into Dragon Ball Z, and then that stuff came out, and I remember getting my mom to pick me up some of those figures and going on a hunt for those figures back then in that day, and also Microman Palisades or Micronaut Palisades figures. Palisades was putting out a lot of toys. They were doing the Muppets and the Micronauts and stuff, and I think some other things. But yeah, that was like
They did that.
what's that?
Army of Darkness, they did that.
Yeah, that was real popular at that time. All that stuff, and especially Dragon Ball Z was pretty popular too.
Actually, I even got some Palisades Witchblade figures. 3/4 inch, they're like animated style.
Put some good stuff out back then, and they're really doing some good stuff. But 2000X came out around that time, and I remember it had to be around
2002.
maybe the fall of 2002, was it?
Maybe, yeah.
I think that's when I started picking up the figures.
Maybe
Really
it was 2001, late 2001, because 2002 they released a shit ton of stuff. But according to our buddy Brian Starner, they did release a lot of shit all at once. Not like Force Friday. It puts that shit to shame because they released like everything. Everything that
Yeah,
has
2001 because I was living with Chef Dan, picking up a lot of that stuff. I believe. I think so, man. He was there 2001 or early 2002. I remember picking up a lot of that stuff, and my mom actually, you know, kind of telling her like, "Oh, look, they're putting He-Man out," and she would get some for me too because I think there's a point too where I was living back at home too, and it might have been when I lived back at home for a little bit. After I lived with Chef Dan for a couple of years, I think maybe, or I can't remember.
the only two figures I have displayed from when I got my original ones are my Skeletor and my Man-at-Arms. That's it. That's all that is in immaculate shape. My my first Smash Blade He-Man got sent to Brian Starner. And was it my first? No. I don't remember. Maybe not. No, my first is getting sent to John Gaither. But my first He-Man got decapitated. My first Beastman, I bought a new one, so I just kept it. Because mine was missing his whip. And then my Trap Jaw was missing a piece, so I just bought a new one of him for $10 on Instagram. I got rid of my old one, but Man-at-Arms and Skeletor stayed. And they look fine, so, oh, shit. Stupid yawning. But freaking...
Every time we do a show, we're really exhausted. It's kind of fun.
It's all... This is episode 1, take 2. But
too about these the new adventure stuff, they had a really weird articulation. They had like some of them had like a knee joint, and then and also like a 360 twist. Like I'm holding the Skeletor. This is like a Discs of Doom Skeletor, I think, or something. And he's got knee articulation, and his calf and foot, that whole part of the lower part of the leg, can actually do almost a 360 turn. It can go from right to left, pretty hardcore. Actually, no, you can spin it around 360. Yeah, and it's got back and forth a little bit, and then you see about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of articulation, and you can't turn the head. But the waist has a battle-matic feature, which you can kind of just twist it back, and he lunges, you know, or you just a little peg right here, and he kind of like
Dungeons and Dragons battle-matic actions.
There's another Count Stegus nod, but yeah, or plug, but yeah, he some of these figures have some weird articulation. Like got this another guy, I forget his name, Artilla, I think. And he's got some knee and he's got some legs spinny aroundy, but the arms aren't very articulated. His head isn't articulated, but he's got a cool little like missile thing, lunge thing that comes out, that pops out. He's also got another, I should do a review of these, a gun that pops out, and he's also got a thing with the back lever on his head where his face can lunge out at you. So he can like headbutt you. But very weird figure, kind of like a cross between maybe Crabjaw and Roboto in a way. And I think he might have been a good guy. They had some weird figures, weird gimmicks. Some were the kind of not too different than the vintage, but they're interesting once you get them in your hand. They're not bad, you know, they really aren't. And another one I forgot I had is Sagitar. I forgot I had this guy. He's kind of like he's the guy with 4 arms.
Centaur guy.
Yeah, he's like was it Minute Centaur?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a bad figure. Pretty cool. Mine's scuffed up and pain a little bit, but he's still pretty neat and kind of gay at one point too. I don't know. It's kind of fun. You can have other dudes ride him pretty much. I mean, you can. It can happen. So it's not impossible.
Adventure is out there.
Yeah. They can go on a romantic journey together or quest or whatever you want.
What the hell? I've had the time of my life. Or better yet, the Never-Ending Story song. Well, that being said, my 200X collection grew substantially in the past couple years. And the fact that I have gotten every different character but Cobra Khan, Tila. I'm not going to say Stratos because I have him, but he's a variant. I don't have regular Stratos, though. I need a regular Stratos. But I have everyone but those three. And, Jesus, fuck. Son of a bitch, I wasn't yawning all day. I do have Panther and Battle Cat as well. And I have the castle, which is missing one damn missile. Which I swear to God is in this house. This smallish house somewhere. And it pissed me off. Because I found both of them. And then, boom, one of them's missing again. I'm like, motherfucker. So, I've had my share of losing shit, just like T. And I try to keep all my shit that's displayed, all their accessories are in bags in Spawn Alley playset box, Spawn Air Cycle box, and the Spawn Mobile box. So all that shit goes. Even Black Cat's whip, because, you know, that's kinky. But we can talk about our amazing fantasies later. But 200X, the Snake Man line, that rare-ass Snake Armor He-Man, which I thought I was going to get, but I got Snake Hunter He-Man. It's the same fucking thing, he just has a net, really. Really, it's not, but it's figure I didn't have, so happy to add it to the collection. And still, me and T-Bizz are looking for the Snake Armor He-Man. For whatever reason, is $100, apparently. What it sells for, I can tell you right now, probably isn't that, but oh well. But the Snake Men series, the figures out of that line are the Cobra Khan, the King Hiss, and the Rat Lore. Hard as shit to find. I got 2 of the 3. Obviously, I'm only missing Cobra Khan, but I got those for like less than $3 a piece, less than 4 a piece. Yeah, a little over 3 and a little under 4 a piece for those two, which is awesome. And Ratlore is just badass. You need that figure if you're a MOTU person. You know that figure's cool. And it has the same gimmick as the old one, and they actually hollowed out the tail at the end and filled it with the same kind of stuff they filled the vintage one with. So it's a nice touch.
What, the 2000X?
Yep. And
I don't have the 2000X, and I don't have the Classics one.
Really? I thought you had the Classics one. I always screw around with T-Bizz and say, you know, you could put those MOTU Classics in my box all the time. He's gotten so annoyed with it, he's just gonna will them to me.
Yeah. If I die, like you said, they're yours.
I just need to get a plane ticket, I guess. Or you know, he could get lucky, and then his girlfriend / wife could send them to me.
Whichever that one will be, who knows who that could be whenever if that happens.
Oh, we'll find one next year, and we'll find.
May have hung out the prospect earlier today, so who knows?
Who knows? We'll never know. But moving on from 200X to Classics, which happened in 2008 or 2006, I don't remember. I think it was 2008. It was around when I was in middle school. I know that much, but the Classics came out. I'm like, oh, those are cool, but they were like fucking $25 a piece, which at the time I think that was shipped. But I only have my Lone 3, my King Hiss with no head and shield, which I think he has somewhere. They're in the catacombs.
I don't think I have it, man, because I looked and looked, and I just don't think it exists.
Insane. Where did you get that second one from? Was that one of the things you got back from Chef Dan last year?
Yeah. Like I originally had a double, like accidentally. I bought a double by accident when I was doing my subscription MOTU Classics back in the day, and then I gave his kid like I think a pair of I gave him a He-Man, a Skeletor, and a King Hiss, which I think his kid kept the He-Man, either that or he might have given it to a friend or somebody. I don't know what the hell happened to that figure, but yeah. It is gone. That's all I know now.
I mean, sometimes Matty Collector does have sales on their website for, so I can get some of the more obscure characters, but out of the core characters, I would like to have
a long time, if ever, unless they do. Wait, you know what they'll probably end up doing someday is like a commemorative re-release of the Classics. I bet. I wouldn't doubt that as a moneymaker. I would not doubt that with special packaging. I would not, because they did that with all the old vintage figures. They had the commemoratives, which I have a couple of. Which actually, I think, how much? I can't remember how much a whole case of all the commemorative figures go for now. If they go for 300 or 1,000, like all of them.
I'm looking right now at King Hiss bits on eBay and trying to see if finding his head is possible. So I know before you could just buy the head. There is a way to just buy the head by itself. There it is. $8. Damn. That's a bit much. But then his shield, I'm not too sure about. But I did just find his head, so I have $8 to spare.
And then I got the reaction figures coming soon, so I think they're going to ship in 5 days, 4 days, 4 or 5 days for me. And Count's got them on the way too. I doubt Count's going to open his. I'm going to open mine and do things with them. So.
Yeah. You might just want to like preserve the cards though, because those cards are badass.
Oh, they are cool, but I'm going to still have some fun with them, do some fun things on Instagram with them, and just have some fun. Got to, man. Can't. I mean, I think Counten's kind of gotten the bug from us that he opens stuff now more than he used to, and he's got some loose stuff too. But at the same time, he does a lot of card stuff, especially with some of the stuff he's got since it's vintage. But yeah. This isn't the Overlord trolls for things he wants on the eBay show.
Nah, I just looked up King Hiss's head quick. But I have the King Hiss, but right now I just have a snake body on him. I got Goat Man. Don't know who the fuck that is. And Skeletor, staffless, but he has a sword. Well, he has a sword that I got in a box set, DVD box set, of the complete 80s 200X and Best of New Adventures with a CD that's kind of shitty because it just remixes an Orko's song. Oh, well. Fucking ridiculous, man. Even Tila's song's better than that, but oh well. But I do have Skeletor finally. I don't even know if I should troll on eBay for the staff for him. I need to go back and watch the video where you pulled him out of the box. I thought he was holding something.
I'm sure you could find that video. It's on my channel. And for anybody else that wants to go to my channel.
Shameless plug. But let's not talk about my MOTU classics. Let's talk about T's MOTU classics.
I've got quite a few.
My ass.
I've got like at least the first 2 years of stuff. Out of the first 2 or 3 years, I'm missing like obviously like Hero. I'm missing King Randor. I'm missing Wonder Bread He-Man. I'm missing African American Zodak. Not African American. Black or Blodak, if you want to call him that.
Blodak? That sounds like the freaking slut Zodak.
But but other than that, I got a lot of those first few years figures. And then when I think I moved over here, was it 2012 when I moved over here? Yeah, 2012. I think I moved over here where I live now, and I moved out of Bizz's or Nicole's house, or we lived together. And I was collecting a little bit. I got like Swiftwind that year. I got like the Fighting Foeman. I got what else did I get that year? I got some stuff hit and miss off and on that year. I was still a subscriber, but it got to a point to where I could not keep up, and I just had to let it go because it was just they were putting out too much stuff at one time. You'd be a subscriber, and you would get a beast, a figure, and an exclusive or something all in 1 month or something else, and that's just a lot of money when you add it up.
Yeah.
It's too much. So I just had to let it go, and ever since then, I might pick up a class. Like I got a couple years ago, I got Blade. A loose Blade figure for the classics line, and
I found your video. It's this fucking boggling puppets he did all his pornos with.
Oh yeah,
boggling pawn. Yeah, should turn volume on this.
There's no such thing as boggling porn. Anyways,
oh, that's a fucking kitty camera.
Yep.
Please note, kids, this is the same bin that awesome MOTU Classic Skeletor was in. Darth Tater. We're a couple of taters.
Dude, I don't know who this guy is. But,
That's a psycho-looking
it'll more likely be a
gold fucker.
Fisher Price jet.
Fisher Price jet.
Don't know if I'll keep
Part 2 of the show is called T-Bizz's Show and Tell from a year ago.
Pleased to have that box set. Definitely keeping this. It's so damn yellow. Diecast Star Wars.
You're starting to sound like everyone in the crew now. I'm keeping this. I'm keeping that. That's weird. Found some weird thing. Let me just make sure this is the one. So I know I left a comment saying that is mine, you bastard.
I got a bunch of toys from Chef Dan. There's quite a few.
Cool Spider-Man. Definitely keep the Spider-Man.
Oh, you got the doppelganger figure. The Spider-Man doppelganger?
Yeah.
The 6-arm one?
Remember, I think
I didn't know you had him. Shit. I haven't began to bug you for that yet. I have the fucking accessory to that, and that one's tongue didn't look like it was broke off.
At 2000 or whatever.
At 209. 667 at 209.
I think this is the point where people are going to stop watching this video, probably.
I don't know, damn. It's a live stream. Who knows? We could come back later with naked chicks on. They'll never know. More fun for us.
Dinosaur. T-Rex.
Now that dinosaur's got twisted written all over it.
Tyrannosaurus.
I swear to God, you were like one of the first YouTubers I watched. You had tattoos all the way down to his hands. I watched it. T-Bizz's first video I ever watched was his Gargoyles video. Zor. You got a Zoar. I don't remember half this shit.
A lot of videos.
I just searched it. I searched it
There's
on.
Whiplash with some discolored face. Maybe mild crotch rot, but
Mild crotch rot.
sure.
I still need his stuff, don't I?
There's some diecast Star Wars that I remember used to have these back in the day.
Back in the day, it's all show and tell with T-Biz. I probably would have been smart to just fast forward to Skeletor, but I didn't know you had that doppelganger figure. I'll have to find something equally as awesome.
Something. I'm still waiting for my
Vintage Wampa's gonna cover the damn Skeletor. I knew you were going there.
No, not that. I just want it didn't cover anything. I just want the damn vintage Wampa.
Oh, there's Skeletor right there. Is he?
Some of this is cool.
Oh, he was.
Junk. There's Skeletor. Somebody gave him my classics. Double Skeletor.
No, he's not holding shit. Huh. This guy's going for a lot of money.
Should I say delusional? So, or
Did I say delusional? Did I say fucking year ago?
should I say?
Should I say it's probably there? You didn't even go through that whole box, sucker. Although, to this day, I will never understand how people lose accessories the way they do.
That's why I just bag things up now. Just keep them in bags.
I never get that. It's like freaking gargoyles missing wings. It's like, why do you take them off? God. It'd be different if they broke clean, but they really don't. They're fucking sturdy ass figures. But now that we're done with T's show and tell, it's time to sucker up for that doppelganger. No. I'm trying to think. How can we drown this out any longer?
I think we've about tapped it for tonight. That's for
About
sure.
tapped it.
Pretty much.
All right. Well, if the man with the doppelganger says we tapped it, then we've tapped it. So that being said, I'm going on blank. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Teen Overlord Show. This is episode 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And until next time, we'll catch you guys later.
Laters.